Hey, amigas! I'm so excited about this episode. I have my friend Aisha here with me, aka Less is More. You have been killing it with Less is More as far as like community, fashion, events, like literally all the things you're doing with it. And I'm so excited to talk about like your story, how you got started, and just like goals you have in mind, what inspires you, all the things. Because every time we see each other, it's like either like we're working technically, like you're on host mode, or it's in passing. But do you want to give like a quick intro about like who you are, what Less is More is?
Yes. I'm Aisha. I started Less is More in 2020, which we'll dive into later. I grew up in Orange County. I feel like everyone thinks I live here, and I actually don't. I live in LA in Torrance, South Bay. I went to school in Hawaii and studied fashion there.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's
but
cool.
It was obviously like it's not like a fashion school. It's like,
right.
But I just wanted to be in Hawaii, and it was great. And I moved back after college back to OC for a little bit, and then back to LA, and now I'm in LA.
Oh my gosh! Wait, when did you move back to OC from Hawaii?
I moved back
to California,
2017. I graduated 2017, so I was there all 4 years, and then moved back.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah,
I know.
Wow. How fun. It's
fun.
such a dream to go to school in Hawaii. I like can't even. That makes sense why you like go often. It's like another home to you.
Yeah, it was great. I met my boyfriend out there, so I feel like we also just have like a connection out there and like friends, and it's great.
I didn't know that. Is he from Hawaii?
No, he's from Torrance. That's kind of how.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yes.
Crazy. Wait, that's so special.
I know. It was really sweet. And it's kind of worked out that we both kind of like have our family here and stuff, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Do you want to tell us about Less is More?
Yes.
How would you describe what Less is More is?
Less is More. Is a vintage company, obviously like apparel. That's like at its like what it started out as. Mm-hmm. I was working in apparel production before. And I was doing like manufacturing and helping with like design and production. So that's kind of how I always like wanted to start a fashion business. Since I couldn't even tell you, like I've never changed my mind, which is kind of crazy. And, but so I got into apparel, I was working retail, then got into apparel production. And then during COVID, that job, they like decided to close the business, and I had already kind of started just like, I kind of wanted to start just selling vintage during COVID. I was like bored at home, and thrift stores were all closed. So I was like, I'm just going to sell some of my own stuff. I'll like look on like Depop and Poshmark, buy some stuff there. And I really was just like, I started as like a hobby, as like a side thing too, because I had my other job. And then once that job, I got let go from there, it was like such a blessing in disguise, because I was okay, I'm going to start Less is More full time. Like we'll see how it goes. And then I feel like it's more than just vintage apparel now. I feel like it's, I don't know, like such a community of, I don't know, like-minded people. And I mean, it's just myself, but I think, I don't know. I obviously doing like events and stuff. It's all of that. Yeah. And then obviously selling vintage as well.
Yeah. And it's cool to see, like, you've done a few collaborations with Monet, right?
Yes.
Jewelry collaboration.
I'm wearing some of her rings.
Yes.
Shout out Monet.
Yes. Yeah, she's the best.
She's the best.
I feel like that's what's so cool about, like, doing something like what you're doing is, like, you can, like, pick and choose, like, the styles that you want to put out there, but then you also have the freedom to, like, collaborate with, like, other artists or, like, expand, like, your business and your image like in a different way. So it's just so cool to like, I feel like your markets have grown so much. It's insane. And I've talked to actually a few people, I don't know if I told you this, who've gone to the markets, and they're like, oh, I came all the way from like the Inland Empire. And I'm just like, what?
No,
like,
that is crazy to me. Like it is, that like is one of the best things, I think. Like there's people that have come from like even further than that, and I was like, are you sure? Like, really? Like, do I need to pay you gas? Like, oh my gosh, like it is crazy. And I think people like always say this about businesses and stuff, and like there's always certain aspects that you don't expect. Like I never was expecting to host a market or anything. Like when I started Less is More, I was like, I'm just going to sell vintage apparel because I love it. It's like obviously something that's more sustainable. And I think there was just kind of a need for it. Like, especially like right after pandemic, people like wanted to connect. I feel like so much. There wasn't any events. We were all stuck at home. And even like I mean, kind of how the market started was I was doing pop-ups with like a few friends, like 2 or 3 of us at coffee shops. Like we all couldn't fit. And I was like, how do we fit all the friends in one space?
Yeah.
And I think it just organically kind of grew from that.
Yeah. I feel like you're kind of like the blueprint for like markets. Like
Thank you.
I'm trying to think back to like one of like the first markets that I had seen, and you're right, they started getting popular after the initial shutdown. I think people were just like, especially creatives, like we creative people and business owners like need each other. I feel like we all like just like process together, and it's like fun to network. I feel like you and I share that too, where we just like love to network and just have like more people involved. Like, how can I get all my friends? So I feel, when I think back, I'm like, I literally think that you were one of the first markets I had consistently gone to, like back to back, like in 2021. Because like no one else was doing markets, and it's I feel like even like LA doing markets is like newer, right?
I kind of think so too. I know, I'm like trying to think. There was the flea markets, and I had done a few of those, like so for like Flea Market and Los Feliz, and like those were great. I think like it's great in general, but for me I think it was tough because with vintage too, people like look at it more of like sometimes like a swap meet, like they want like a deal, and I'm like I think it was my intention behind the markets was also to like make it a little more, I know curated is such like a word, but make it more curated and like have, and not make it such like this like janky flea market. Those are not janky flea markets, but you know what I mean? Like I wanted to like we had drink sponsors, and like I did do the newspaper, and like put in a lot of like effort and money into it, having like music and all of that. And I think it makes it like it's more fun. It was like kind of like a hangout, and like people are dancing, and like a part. I know you love to dance, and I'm like, this is fun. I'm like, I want to leave my booth and go dance with everyone. But
oh my gosh,
yeah,
that's so I feel like it's like different than a flea market for so many reasons, but also like you're kind of like respecting like the craft more and like the person behind like the business. So it's like there's no room to like, it would be, at least in my opinion, very disrespectful to go up to a booth and be like, what's the best deal you're gonna give me, you know? Because it's like, well, that person like you said, like curated that, like they went out of their way, took their time, their money to either make that or like go and source it. So there's just like I love how you described that. What inspired you to specifically start like this whole market?
I definitely think giving people like the community, I think community is a big thing. Being able to like put that on for the community and bring people together, and then support these other small businesses, because obviously like having this market and a platform for these people to be able to like sell their products at, I think has been beneficial for them and exposure, and obviously like, and it's crazy, like people have come up to me before and been like, thank you for putting this on, and I'm like, what? Like, oh my God, like they're like we needed this, and I was like, oh, you're welcome, I guess. I didn't, you know, but and I think especially it's interesting because I don't live in OC, but I grew up here obviously, and I think I do have like a big community in Costa Mesa because that's where I started doing my markets. I think in LA it was hard for me to find a place that was like, even for doing pop-ups like at coffee shops, they're just like way more strict. Like you can't just like pop up at a coffee shop there. And that's kind of how it started in OC too, is because like the coffee shops were so open here. But I mean, now I've expanded, I have done it in LA, and that's been really great as well. So and I think that's kind of where both of my communities like mainly are, is OC and LA.
That's so true. It's so much more chill out here to like do those things.
Like
I'm hosting this market at Daydream.
And
it's actually my first market.
I'm so excited
you
for you.
Inspired me, and I'm so excited. It's gonna be so good. Thank you.
I'm gonna come and
oh my gosh, yes, come and get a tattoo, get a tooth gem, all the things.
Ooh, are you doing tooth gems?
Yes.
Fun.
And they have been like so chill as far as like planning. I'm like, okay, when do you want like vendor fees? And like, whenever.
They're
and I'm
the
like,
best.
What?
It's so and it makes it's
cool.
so easy, and like I think it's like they trust you and they know you're gonna put on a good market. Like, it makes it really easy.
I know.
There's not all these like, I don't know, like there has been permit stuff that I've had to deal with before, but like I feel like at Daydream especially, there's not any like, you know.
So chill. I feel like people just like, I don't know if it's like the vibe in general of Costa Mesa, which is why I love it so much. Like people just love to like network and just like community is so important here.
It is.
And I love that.
Yeah. I feel like I realized that a lot with the markets too, is like when people were saying like, thank you, like we need, I'm like, oh, because like LA, there's so much going on all the time. But here is such a tight-knit community too, and like everyone shows up for each other. I've realized
totally.
Like the markets here like do crazy, like everyone shows up.
It's which really is great. Cool. And it's so cool because it is so expensive to like find your own space, have your own storefront.
Yeah.
Like I could not even imagine how much that costs. So like having,
especially now.
Yeah. So I feel like Justine will tell me, because Justine does candles and she's always like, oh my gosh, like the pop-ups are always, or like the markets, events like that are always like an amazing way for her to sell, because she's like, I pay like a small vendor fee, but that's like nothing compared to like what it would cost to have like your own store, you know? And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so cool that like people can just like do that together.
Yeah. And then she doesn't have to ship product out and like worry about that.
Yeah, because that's like a whole other thing. But have you always been, this wasn't one of the questions I sent you, but I'm like, I'm curious. Have you always been someone, like if you can think back to like childhood, that's been like community oriented?
I feel like I think I've always wanted that. I think that I never like had found like my exact community and people, because I think like the high school I went to was very academic focused. Okay. And I am like, my brain does not work that way. Like I never was like super good in school. I always wanted to do like the creative courses. And even in high school, like I just don't think they I don't want to be, I feel like they force you to do things that you don't want to do, and I'm like, I know I don't want to do that, I'm not going to go into that. But anyways, so I feel like, and even in college I did like a ceramics course and a photography course. I always have been interested in like the more creative classes, and I definitely think it's something I always longed for. So I think it's not like, and I just didn't find it until later. And Mar, you know Mar.
Love her. Shout out.
We love her. I truly like, ever since I met her, I think we just like have found such a great group of people around us, and like of creatives, and like met you, like so many, and even with Less is More, like I met so many amazing people through this that I never would have met before. And I think I always kind of struggled with that. Like I've always had like, some of my best friends that I grew up with and stuff, but like I didn't have a really big community of creative people and like like-minded people that you can like really relate to on like what you're trying to do. So I think, for your question, I like to say that yes, like I'm an extrovert, like I love connecting with people, yes, but I don't think I like had a community prior to Less is More, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And it's like, it's crazy to think back of like, I always think about like small, like little me is like the reason why I'm like adult me now. And I feel like you and I are very similar in the way, like you are someone who does inclusivity like so well, and like networking. And I feel like I desire those things too. And it almost like trips me out when I like see that other people like don't, like their brain doesn't automatically like include other people. And I'm like, wow, that's like something that comes so natural, like for people like you and I. Wait, have we talked about the Enneagram? We have. I've definitely asked.
And you've asked me, and I'm horrible because you've asked me and you sent it to me, and then I tried signing up, and then it was...
Oh, it was giving you issues, right? It wanted me to pay. So much drama.
I need to do this.
I'm so curious if we're the same number. Because,
I know, I'm
like,
curious too.
Yeah, because I feel like as far as like those things, like we're very like similar. And it's so cool, like as far as like networking with like creatives too, because I feel like everyone has like their own gifts of like strengths, which is why networking is so important, because then you include other people that are maybe strong in other areas that like you're not strong in, and when you put us all together, we just like create like such a beautiful thing, like Less is More,
Thank you.
So it's really cool.
And I think being able, like, obviously, like, your community doesn't have to just be creative, but like I think it's brought so many people just, and like strangers and people that I've met that are like just such kind. I think I also am like, I feel like it's such a kind community. And that's a big thing. It's like, I think when I was in LA and I didn't really like, because when I had moved back to LA, or when I moved to LA, I guess because I never lived in LA, I was in OC, but like a lot of my friends weren't in Orange County or Southern California. So I didn't really have many friends here. And I think that LA can be an intimidating place, but like you really just need to find that there are very nice people there and like supportive girls all over, but it's just finding those people.
For sure. Which is what's cool about social media. I feel like we're quick to bash social media because it is very draining and it's a comparison thing, but the beautiful part of it is like that's literally how I've met some of my like closest like creative friends and like community, and I'm like, whoa, this like that's literally like, I mean, kind of how I met Jillian too, like junk drawer. I'm like, this is so random, but
I know
it's really cool.
I think really there's so many beautiful aspects of it, and like obviously there's some cons, but I think we also work in the space, so I think we're a little more like gracious towards it.
Yeah.
Because I think it helps us get jobs. Like,
yeah,
that's the only reason less is more is what it is. Without social media, I wouldn't have had, it wouldn't be anything, because it was during COVID. Like, I couldn't go anywhere, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think you just have to have a healthy balance with it.
For sure.
Which is tough.
Yeah.
We all struggle with it. It's
ebbs and flows.
Ebbs and flows.
Some seasons I'm like, this is so fun. And then other times I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so drained.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I feel like we touched on community really well, but I want to talk about fashion. I want to know, like, how would you first off describe like the style of like Less is More, like the clothes that you like carry?
I feel like with Less is More, it is very like classic, a lot of neutrals, obviously, because I think the intention with it is to have more like pieces for a capsule wardrobe. That way you're not getting tired of things and throwing it away. So yeah, and then I like to obviously still like do some fun things, because I think I love neutrals. Yeah. But I think that like that can get a little stale over time of like, or if you want to add like a little fun thing, or, you know, I did like a sporty collection. That was super fun to like bring in some more color and like some more, like some different silhouettes that I normally wouldn't bring in. And then I did like some sweatshirts with like a fun design that Mar helped me design. So yeah, I try to like mix it up still, but still like as the base, keep neutrals and like things for your capsule wardrobe that you can like wear over and over again.
Yeah. I feel like the word that comes to mind for me when I'm like thinking about like your style and like Less is More is like timeless. Like,
yes, that's a great word.
Yeah, it's just gonna like age forever, which is really like, and you do it in a way where it's like you're still on trend, and you can even like mix and match like what you have to make it like trendy for today.
Right.
Like you put a bow on it or something, you know?
Right, exactly.
But it's still timeless. Like I am just so sick of micro trends. You have no idea.
Same.
And just like the fast fashion world, I'm just like,
and it's hard because it's like even social media will feed you all of these like trends.
Yes.
That you may not even like subconsciously be thinking.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I know. I feel like timeless is just like the way to go. And like what you're saying, like with a capsule, like it's like it's meant to have for a long time. And you can find different ways to like dress it up or like make it like, you know, so.
And I always say like pieces that you can mix and match. Like these trousers I'm like obsessed with, and I will wear them with like you can wear them with so many different things. Yeah. But yeah, and I'm like a big outfit repeater. So that's the other thing is I think like when you have kind of like these staple pieces, like it's, I mean, it's not as obvious when you're wearing them all the time, but yeah.
No, it's I love outfit repeating. Love outfit repeating.
Lizzie McGuire.
Yes. Because then you know like what works, and you're like I've already worn this outfit and I love it. It makes me feel good, so I'm just gonna like wear it again. And honestly, you
don't have to think about it.
Yeah. And I've been like into hair as an accessory like for a long time now, where I'm like, you can literally do fun things with your hair or like accessorize with jewelry, and it changes up like that. Even that whole trend of like wearing your clothes versus styling, it's like huge. It's so huge.
It makes all the difference.
It
truly
really does.
Purses and shoes too. Like I'm obsessed.
Shoes really like
shoes are
I know. It's so fun. I love that. Do you have like any fashion icons that you look up to?
You know, that was like such a hard question because I feel like I'm really bad at pop culture. Like, horrible.
Really?
Yeah. Yes. Ask Mar and my brother. They like always make fun of me for it.
That's how Justine is too. She like doesn't know who anyone is or like what's new. And I'm like,
so bad. And I really should know that more for my job. But I truly think like my friends are a huge inspiration. And then like, I think like a lot of like influencers I'll look to for fashion inspo, and like a lot of like the New York, like I love New York fashion. I feel like it doesn't always translate in LA because of like weather and stuff, but like layering is like so, I think like I'm really inspired by layering because I feel like I'm not good at it. So it's cool to see like other people and how they style it. And I think like finding accessories to also like how you were saying, like looking for ways to that. I've been watching actually a lot of like, I love a rom-com. And I've been watching like a lot of like 90s rom-coms. I recently was watching Sex and the City. Good inspiration there. So I think like a lot of like the like My Best Friend's Wedding, that movie. I love what's her name? I can't remember it, but the main girl.
Julia Roberts. Yeah.
Like her style in that. Fun.
I was just thinking like I feel like if I were to pick an era for like Less is More, it would be like 90s.
Yeah.
in the
I'm
best
a 90s
way.
baby, so I'm like,
yeah. But not like 90s where it's like,
yes.
I feel like there's like two sides
there
to
are.
90s.
There's like the Y2K. No, that's
well,
2000s.
almost like Y2K. Yeah. You know, like
on the border.
Yes. Yeah. But I feel like your style, now that you say that, I'm like, it does kind of remind me of like a rom-com, like Julia Roberts or like her other 90s. I don't know. But I'm just like black turtlenecks.
Yeah, the
like,
oversized blazer and like the little sunnies.
So cute.
Kitten heels. Yeah.
I love that. Ugh. I literally have so many like fashion icons.
I want to know yours. I feel like you have good ones.
I have too many. And that's kind of like my problem actually, is that I love so many different types of like fashion styles and like trends and stuff. But I don't know. I feel like I'm like all over the place, but Jillian has told me and a few other friends, like they're like, no, you make it work. I'm like, okay, you promise? Because I feel like
no, I feel that too though, because I feel like I totally see that, but I also can feel that way as well. And like I feel like I can range so much in like different styles and trends. Like sometimes I want to be really oversized and sometimes I want to dress like more femme and yeah. But I think you make it work really well.
Oh my gosh, thank you. Yeah. Some days I dress like a little like ballerina, and then other days I dress like a 12-year-old like soccer player.
So Adidas, the Sambas, like literally soccer shoes. My friend makes fun of me. She's like, I literally had those in soccer. I was like, I know, sorry.
You're like, they're cool now. Yeah. So. Okay, wait, do you want to talk about Same Studios?
Yes.
Okay, that wasn't bring up
a little. I'll give you guys like a little teaser.
Yes.
Just because, my friend Kiana, Keeks It Simple on Instagram. We're opening a creative studio space for anyone that needs to shoot content, some events if you want to rent it out. I think it will really. I think both of us are very like we love our communities, so we want to like. I'm excited to see what it grows into. I don't want to give away too much, but I mean, it's Same Studios _ on Instagram. So you can follow us there. We're, launching very, very soon to the public. So
I'm so excited. It's just going to be nice to have like another space in Costa Mesa.
Yes. And you'll have to come over. It's great. Like so much natural light and just,
Are you doing like a housewarming party or like a grand opening?
We are talking. We're going back and forth.
Okay.
We might make something like intimate and then do like we have plans.
Okay. Yeah. Wait, I'm so excited. Yes. I want to come.
I know. You'll have to come and hang out. It's so cute.
Gosh. I love that.
My dog will be there sometimes, I'm sure. That's really nice too.
Yes.
Finding somewhere that's dog friendly.
Yeah. So fun. I love that. Do you have any other goals? I always ask business or personal. Because I also like to separate the face from like just like business, but that you're working towards right now?
Business goals. Ooh. I'm like this is hard. Okay, so I have so many, but I feel like there's a lot of events, some collaborations that I'm very excited for.
Oh my gosh.
This year. You know about one. Also, this has been like years in the making and it's just taken a really long time because I think I'm so busy and it's really just me running Less is More, minus when I have like Mar helping me with the graphic design and stuff, but is a cut and sew line.
Okay.
So I've created like designed some pieces. I've had samples for years now. So I'm just trying to figure out, I really wanted to launch with like 5 pieces for a collection and then I was like talking to my friends and like everyone and I'm getting everything like made in LA and stuff, and obviously like it's way more expensive when you do that, but also I think that's the only way I would do it. And so it's just expensive, so I'm gonna start with one piece, I decided.
Gosh, that's huge.
So that's something that will be coming. I'm not sure when because we'll see with pricing. Personal, I think just finding more of a work-life balance. Like I think it's hard when social media can be part of my job and like I can find myself at night like scrolling and stuff and I'm like, wait, I'm like working right now though. Like I need to chill. And my brain is always moving. Like I'm always like, what can I do next? How can I build blah, 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 blah. I really want to be in the ocean like so much more this summer because I feel like last summer I didn't surf or go in the ocean at all. And that's a personal goal.
That's so fun.
It's hard to slow down when you're like, building something too, so
and when you're excited about
when you're excited, like I'm it's
exactly like, I was actually getting into it respectfully with a very close friend of mine. We were like mostly like joking around, but I was talking about there was like, it was like a serious tone to the conversation we were having. It was like a group setting, and he was talking about like, oh, 9 to 5, like draining. I was like, yeah. I was like, but what's hard for me is I can't, like, you're done at like 5 o'clock. Like, you're done with your work hours. My brain is constantly going. Literally,
you can't shut it off.
You cannot shut it off. I will wake up in the middle of the night, have an idea, and I'm like, I need to write this down.
I do that like too much, and it's my best ideas though, so I have to write it down.
Yeah. And it's like, and it's all fun and good things, and it's like stuff we're excited about, but I'm also like, I would love to just turn my brain off. Like, I joke around about like, it'd be nice to just work a simple job, because then I don't have to like think, I don't have to use my creative brain. I could just like use my like logical brain and like turn that off, you know?
I think about that constantly. Like, I was talking with my brother the other day. I'm like, sometimes I just wish that I could have like a job that I literally could just, I go there and I don't think about it after.
Yeah, you clock in, you clock out.
Like, he works at a restaurant, he clocks in, he clocks out, and then he has the rest of his like time to like work on his creative endeavors. And I'm like, oh, sometimes. But then also I can't do that. So I'm like, it's just a battle.
Like, I'm not meant for like a desk.
Pros and cons, like always, I think, with like, it's always pros and cons.
It is. And it's like,
and if the pros outweigh the cons, then I'm like
all in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like it just like depends. So lately I've been feeling a weird funk this week as far as like productivity. I don't know if like you felt like that too.
Yeah.
And I immediately looked up like the moon shift, because I swear that has so much to do with like how much I want to get done, like my ideas, this and that, like motivation, inspiration.
Totally.
And so anytime I'm like feeling off or I'm feeling like super creative, I'm like, where's the moon? What's happening? I know this is affecting me.
No, I feel like too with like friends that I'll talk about when like I feel like everyone will be having like a funk at the same time, and everyone's like, what's going on?
Yeah. My funk is always in spring. I don't know why. It's like, it's really bad.
I feel like mine's in winter.
Is it?
I don't know though.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just saying that.
Maybe
because it's more dead and like, I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like for me, it's the only parts of spring that I like is like seeing everything bloom. Yeah. But other than that, I'm like super sick because of allergies. And I'm like, it's like cold outside. Season. It's allergy season. And like my health like really affects like my creative brain.
No, that makes so much sense.
And then like all I want to do is like be in the ocean, be outside. But then it's like, then it's windy or I'm sneezing. It's like so much drama.
I think it's weather. Weather affects me tremendously.
Yes.
Like even this morning it was gloomy and I was like, am I in a bad mood or is it gloomy? Like, I don't know.
Literally the question of my life is, am I in a bad mood? Is it gloomy? But
summer, I feel like you're a summer person too.
Oh, 100. I thrive in the summer.
I thrive in the summer.
Oh
Get me there.
I was talking to one of my close friends last night. We were talking about literally spring, like what we're saying right now. And she's like, I just needed to like jump to summer so I can just like take my top off and be in the sun. I'm like, literally saying, like, let's all take our tops off.
Yeah. European summer.
Yeah.
All day long. I like cannot wait for summer. I just think, we all feel better.
Yes.
You can jump in the ocean. Ocean dips are huge.
Ocean
dips you have more energy. So you wake up like excited because it's sunny out versus gloomy. Like, it's just I don't want to do anything when it's
Yes. Yeah. It's. I think that's why I don't like spring. Like for winter, I can like justify it because I'm like, well, like Christmas makes it fun. It like gives us something to look forward to. That's true. And then like springtime, I'm just like, just get me to summer, please.
Yeah. I think Christmas is also like I as I get older, I'm like, it's so draining though sometimes.
Yes. Yeah.
Because it's like all the events, the family,
the busyness,
the busyness. There's so much. And like work wise, obviously, I'm like drained too because I'm like, it's like the last of the year. So after I'm like, ooh, like a little relaxed period in between New Year's. But
it's crazy. We'll get through it though.
Yeah. And summer's around the corner.
I'm so excited. And it better be a freaking sunny summer.
It better
I'm going to lose it.
I know. I feel like this will happen to me too. It's like every time I want to go to the beach and I have like the free time, it's gloomy out, and then the days that I'm like working, it's like, and I had a pop-up and it's like 1,000,000 degrees and I'm sweating.
You're like, why am I here?
Yeah. Yes.
No, that's so true. Do you have any upcoming like markets or events?
I am going to be vending at Modref's Market.
Oh yeah.
And they're having sample sale at the lab in OC, April 6th and 7th.
So fun.
And then I am trying to slow down a lot on markets. And like pop-ups because I've just gotten so burnt out and then I just have a lot of other things going on work-wise, but I am trying to do another one in LA, TBD.
Okay.
And then I'm sure I'll do another one here I think I'm trying to do like more like twice a year.
Okay.
And then I am doing some pop-ups in store, but that is also, I will be announcing that later.
Yes. You guys will have to follow along to get the official dates and the official exciting
all
things,
the
and news, all the collabs, all the tea. Follow Aisha at Less is More, underscore Less is More,
it's,
right?
Less is More, period, and 3 underscores. But it should show, I know.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I couldn't get the handle.
That is the worst. That is literally the worst.
But I feel like if you just type Less is More, it'll come up. But it's the worst. It's like,
yeah. And I'll tag you in our show notes and stuff. But you guys, if you're listening and haven't been to a market, go get some drinks. You have the best drink sponsors, by the way. Like Zach and I was like,